Amazon opens. Good morning, February 25th, 2017 for the Barrel Newscast.
Today on the newscast, we talk about Switchues.
Switchues. The new Nightwing movie is happening.
And Patrick Stewart has read his last mind, I guess, as Professor X. So stay tuned! There.
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome.
Our chat's still not up yet. The client
it's loading.
The client is like this far away.
It is not technical difficulty.
No, it was an update that was required for the restream chat.
Yes.
So it's coming though.
It's
so
there,
if you're on the chat,
we're waiting.
Just
give
us a second.
Hold your comments. We'll be there. We'll be there soon.
We're here now. Hello. Hello, Jake.
Whoa. Hi.
We seem to be not up on YouTube. Hold on.
OopTube sometimes likes to be behind.
We are problem solving. Oh, there. All right, you found us. We're alive.
Yes.
I worry about these things.
I don't. The internet just kind of works.
Yes.
The internet just works.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. It is still February 25th.
Still.
I'm Nick.
I'm Tony. Let's
and yeah, apparently we're offline on YouTube.
Maybe the stream feed?
I don't
know.
Oh no. I am confused and perplexed.
We're working it out. We're gonna hash it out.
We're hashing things.
We're gonna hash it out.
We are problem solving.
Live problem solving. Hashtag problem solving.
Edit YouTube channel streaming now.
Please reset your broadcast software to apply the changes. No.
Well, it's connecting. It's slowly connecting.
Why would you need to update the password?
I'm very confused. We're live on Hitbox.
We're live on the Twitch.
We're live on Twitch. The best of Barrel Roll. Yeah, problem. Oh my god, it's not doing its thing.
Do it. Do it faster. Do it better, internet. Let's go to.
Well, you played. It caught your playing of Final Fantasy last night.
Yes.
Did we piss off YouTube in some way, shape, or form?
I can't imagine so.
Well, it changed the name.
It for like that 5 seconds, it played that song in the beginning. That whole "When the night is young," but there was no lyrics to it.
Oh.
So that shouldn't have like tripped it over.
Well, no, because everything's still up, and we haven't received any kind of email.
No.
There's a live dashboard somewhere that I'm trying to get to here. There it is.
Live control room. We're not receiving data from the encoder, so it looks like a OBS.
It looks like an OBS type issue.
Oh no.
Problem solving. Solving of problems.
Solve all the problems. Let's see here. There's that one.
Panic! Panic!
We're fine.
Panic!
I'll panic you.
An error occurred. Please try again later. We are not receiving data from your encoder.
Huh?
So it's not receiving data from our encoder. So it's not receiving data from OBS. Oh my goodness gracious me.
I'm Googling that. We're not receiving data from your encoder. But
we can change the name and stuff.
Yeah.
So that part's working. Okay.
All right. Well.
You know what? I'm gonna stop streaming for a second. We're gonna come back.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
work on that.
We're gonna see what happens. So we'll be right back after no messages. Face at the camera. All right. We are
loading. We're
loading.
Loading. That's the
we are
technical
online on Hitbox.
That is the technical terms. Loading. Hello, random user.
The random user.
Entertainment to the finest. Yes, it is the entertainment to the finest. It is still wanting to connect.
Okay, so if you're trying to, if don't try and watch on YouTube.
Yeah, we've got 2 other networks obviously there, Twitch and the Hitbox.tv.
We're gonna throw that out there because yeah, something's up with our YouTube.
Yeah, it was fine last night.
It was fine last night.
Yeah. It's
being mean right now. It's trying to connect and it's having issues.
Maybe it has something to do with OBS because I know my OBS updated last night.
I don't know. Either who. Hello.
Hello. We're not gonna. Don't let this minor hiccup stop us.
Yes, we'll keep going. And why does it keep reposting your? All right.
I think because it's all tied.
It's trying to connect to the YouTube stuff, and it's being mean.
Well, it is connected to the YouTube stuff.
It is. So our chat's still going through YouTube. So
yeah.
We're trying to watch on YouTube. It's being silly. So we're just gonna move past it.
Yes.
We're gonna move on.
YouTube is kind of silly, anyways, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no place for soapbox for YouTube drama. I know the past couple months have been really weird on YouTube, especially with all the changes to the algorithms.
Well, and that was some weird. Maybe the monetization part is being goofy with us. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not letting us. Well, no, because then
I don't know.
Yeah.
You streamed last night, so I think YouTube's just being goofy right now. And Restream is clearly being goofy too.
No, no. We were talking.
We're good.
You're talking.
It keeps freezing though. That's my.
Are we clear on Hitbox and Twitch? That's another good thing to look at.
Every time I go to type in Hitbox,
what are you searching for?
You know me.
Hot potting?
I want to find out a good way of cooking my hot pockets.
Hitbox
is good. All right, cool.
I'm not gonna.
Then we're just gonna keep going.
We're just gonna go with it because you can probably push it out later.
And yes, we'll just push it to YouTube after for watching purposes.
Yeah, that's easy enough. It's like 2 clicks away or something.
Yeah. So awesome, cool. So here we go.
Let's not waste any more time.
No. Let's get to the news.
Let's get to news.
Switchues.
It's because Switch and issues.
Yes. So
if you've been living under a rock,
the Switch comes out.
There is a new Nintendo handheld coming out next week.
Woo!
In like 5-6 days.
Yes.
Depending on when you get it. But obviously, early review units are coming out
for larger news
organizations. Apparently, we're not large enough.
At one point, we actually did have some kind of communication with Nintendo.
I thought we had a contact, but we had to send the game back or something like that.
There was rental units involved and all that kind of stuff, and
which I think was super cool. But...
And then they changed, and in part of that change, we're still in there. We just have to reconnect essentially.
Oh. I don't know. It seems like a lot more work.
And we're getting a thumbs up on Twitch, so there you go.
Yes.
Thanks, the random user.
So, early review units for the Nintendo Switch are coming out. And for the most part, it's as advertised.
There's some very positive stuff coming. Yep. Battery life.
Battery life is as advertised. Yep. About 2.5 to 5 hours, depending on
settings,
what you're doing,
what game you're playing. Yeah.
Because the Gamer Explained did basically a stress test on the battery and basically just cranked everything up to the maximum.
Yeah, bright everything.
Wi-Fi on, make sure the screen didn't time out. Yeah.
And that's all going to play a very, very big thing. Like when I'm out and about.
You're not going to have it cranked up. You're probably going to have it on airplane mode. I was
going to say my Wi-Fi is going to be off.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not going to need any of that stuff. And for me, I know I'm not going to be putting a little kickstand out and playing like this very often.
No.
So for me, even my controllers are still going to
more naturally is going to be like that.
Yeah,
whenever you're going to take the controllers off, it's more for, hey, let's play a game together.
Yeah, like you and me are going to play.
Yeah, that's what I see that tabletop mode for.
Yeah.
And so battery life is more or less as anticipated.
Yep.
The one big thing that's coming out is the left Joy-Con.
Yes,
left
I think
controller. Is it specifically isolated to the left one?
I'm not entirely certain.
So if you are playing any distance away and have the controller sort of covered up, you might experience disconnection issues.
Disconnection.
With the controller. And granted, that is a very, very specific case scenario. I'm never going to be underneath all my blankets playing a Nintendo Switch with two controllers like detached from each other. That seems really, really specific. But the fact that that issue exists is, you know, like, Nintendo really needed to hit the ballpark, and hopefully they will be able to address this. And I think they are saying that
they've already said that they're like, oh, we've got a fix for this one. So
yeah. So
Hassan. Hi, Hassan.
Hissanin.
Hello.
So that's again, it's a super minor issue, but hopefully it doesn't exacerbate itself anymore, because as we know, the review units, the small percentage of them might have this issue, but the more out there in the wild, the bigger the story is going to get. And yes, you can. Hi, Greg. Hi, Greg. Hello, Greg. I got to keep names. Greetings, Greg and Jake and yes, it was just pointed out that yes, you can buy Joy-Cons separately, but that's not the issue. It's when you try to connect one of them. Yeah. It's the range of your Bluetooth is just weird off, and so hopefully that will be either fixed or a non-issue. Right. No virtual console at launch. On day one, at launch, and I think they said something about like TurboGrafx games in Japan shortly after launch. So that's cool. I'd rather them roll that kind of stuff out slowly than just be like open box and try and have all of that digital content stuff work. All your Zelda games work, all of your... Like, I would rather... And honestly, I'm going to turn the Switch on. I'm going to set it up, which I'll do on here. Like, I'll go through the motions on Barrel. As much as you can. Yeah. Do you think we need to get a separate camera for that when you do it in handheld mode? Because you're not going to be able to stream that when it's not in handheld mode. Right. So for me... We should plan this out. For me, I've already kind of figured I can use one camera on there. Yeah. And then another camera on the tripod behind, so it's over the shoulder kind of thing, until I'm ready. Because I think you set it up kind of in handheld. If I can set it up on the screen, I'll just set it up on the screen and we can stream like... Yeah, but then to show back and forth kind of stuff would be... yeah. I think showing that off would be pretty... So, and yeah, I mean, the whole shtick. We can totally do that. And I'm going to test it all out, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to set that thing up. I'm going to make sure everything's all the settings are set. And then I'm going to play Zelda after I download Zelda. So, I'm going to get my thing updated. I'm going to get on the eShop. Oh, man, those servers are going to be crashing. That server is going to die. But I'd rather have, again, digital games as opposed to... You can't preload it. No. So I'd rather have digital games as opposed to, I'm very much a both options for me. Like, I like having both available. And for me, just it being a handheld type thing, if I can get digital content right away, I'm going to do that. The reason I have so many 3DS games in cartridges is because when the eShop first came out and all that stuff, I was just like, it's easier for me to go to the, I'll just go and pick up the game. And you never had a memory card at that point, at that size. Right, and it's like, well, I'm going to be able to install 2 games. Now I'm sitting there ordering 256 gigs on a micro SD card. Yeah. To plug into my, like the sizes of micro SD cards and prices have gotten really, really, cheap. So, even you can even get away with I want to say 128 gigabyte and still be okay for a Nintendo Switch at launch. Oh yeah, for sure. Because you only Zelda's 13 gigs. Yeah, 99% of people are going to be playing Zelda. Yeah, and so for me, that's my I'm not concerned about Virtual Console. Mm-hmm. I don't need to play A Link to the Past. When I can play the future. When I can play a full realized 3D Zelda game in my hands. PS4 or Xbox or PC. I like all video game consoles. As do I, but I play on my PC because I don't own a PS4 or Xbox One. I play on PS4 and the PC because I needed to play Metal Gear Solid 5, and I didn't have a PC at the time. And
Yep.
I think if I'm torn, if MGS5 comes out or not, it is out on PC, but if it's on sale, I might pick it up on the computer.
Yeah,
I might, but
I've done that with a few games.
So,
yeah, and I got a PC just because of what we do.
mm-hmm.
That was my like, I will buy a computer that actually works.
Not a Mac.
And not the Mac that we used to run off of. Before we that was before live streaming.
We've tried live streaming, didn't we, with that Mac? I feel like we tried it.
I think we tried streaming games off of it, but we never did like a show live. Our show did not used to be live. It was a pre-recorded show in front of a not live studio audience.
Not live.
Not live.
Sometimes it was live.
Well, the only time we ever had an audience was when we filmed at school.
Yeah. And it was still weird.
And people were walking by like...
Okay. Hey. Hi.
With our camera set up on a tripod running off a battery. Ah, the good old days.
Retro tech.
That we brought back for one whole podcast that day.
Hey, there were reasons for that. There were reasons for that.
Technical issues.
I think that's the only big things that are coming out.
I was gonna say that.
Have you read anything on?
Out of all the issues for the Switch, like that's the only one that I've really heard.
Yeah.
The rest are just everybody's like, Zelda's great.
Yeah.
System's cool.
Yeah, it works it's as advertised.
A bunch of developers are just like.
Yep.
There's more developers that I think are more excited about it, and I forgot who was talking about it, but they were even saying like, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yes, we like the Nintendo Switch.
I have mine coming. It'll show up at my house hopefully next Friday.
Whenever Splatoon 2 comes out for me.
And Brian and I were talking about that the other night, is their release schedule for that is perfect. It kind of gives...
Not quite that kind of classroom. It wasn't that kind of classroom.
Yeah, I know. That would require a lot of permission from a lot of different people.
Yes.
Not just parents.
No.
Brian. But Brian and I were talking, and it's like their release schedule is perfect because they're giving themselves enough time to produce enough consoles to go like, oh, Mario Kart's coming out with another wave of
and they don't need to
Switch.
And they're not going to burn out on software.
Yeah,
like at the Wii's
and
launch.
it's like Splatoon's coming out. Here's another like gaggle of Switches
Mario
coming out.
Kart.
That's what I mean. And then I assume when Skyrim comes out, that'll be another big push.
Yeah.
And then we come to Christmas, we have Mario.
Mario's going to be the big one.
And a bunch of Switches come out again. And I'm like, it's perfect, because every time they're pretty much shipping out a large shipment of Switches, they've got another game to go with it.
And it's really great that they're not competing with any of the other console release.
Yeah.
Is the big thing.
Oh, yeah. They're all on their own for this one. And then even one of the developers was sitting there going, you can literally make an app like, because it's got the touchscreen, and you can use it almost like a tablet. Like, those controllers can completely go away. And you can have like an iPad or an Android tablet that you can make little apps for.
I'm wondering what Nintendo's restrictions are when it comes to like.
And I'm hoping there's like that Nintendo seal of quality kind of thing coming back, where you can't just be like, here's another clone of, Bejeweled or Angry Birds or this or
Tetris clone.
Honestly, Angry Birds on the Switch. Not that Angry Birds is a huge game anymore.
No.
But Angry Birds on the Switch wouldn't be bad.
No, but like think of another type of popular mobile game right now that's not Pokemon Go. Yeah. You could put Fire Emblem on there.
Sure. And again, I'm not a fan of those kind of games, but Candy Crush. Mm-hmm. And then obviously they might have to retool it so there's no microtransactions anymore. Mm-hmm. So make it a little bit more expensive, but give us, give us those kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy's like, well, you can use apps, and then it's like a handheld, and then it plugs it. He's like, it's the dream machine. Like, it does everything.
I think the moment it's going to really hit me is when Netflix comes on the Switch.
And I'm hoping Netflix brings their downloading over.
Yeah. Because the idea of, like, watching it on handheld mode and thinking, oh, I'm at home now. Or, like, oh, it's time for bed, but bedtime. I'm watching... Yeah, that is what
I use my
even YouTube.
Sure, I use my Wii U like that a lot. When I used to have it, I've obviously redone my whole house. So when my Wii U was in my room, I'd do that. I'd watch Netflix on it. But now that it's where it is, it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Like, it can still work as a game where someone's watching TV and I'm playing a game on it.
There's better Netflix options right now.
But there are way better Netflix options right now. Because, the Netflix...
The Chromecast basically blew that out of the water.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that my phone's been upgraded since the Wii U came out, and my tablet is better. Like, I can watch YouTube off, or Netflix or YouTube off my tablet and have a better experience, because if I need to, I can get up and actually go to the bathroom. Whereas everyone's busy except us. Well, that's all you get today is the original 2. OG barrel roll.
That's how they call it in the hood, right? The OG for shizzle. Do we need to start putting our pants lower?
Yes. It won't go, Tony. So yeah, no, to answer the Switch hype.
It's
hyped.
I'm excited. I'm content with it, but I'm not ready for it yet.
No, and like you say, Splatoon 2?
Splatoon 2, yeah. Like, I will play Zelda on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Not out of a solidarity of, nah, my Wii U needs a game. It's, I don't want to buy a console just for Zelda.
Right.
And eventually I might get Zelda on the Switch.
OG best G. Darn tootin'. And yeah, and that's the other part too, is once you get a Switch, and you're going, oh, Zelda's coming out. Like, I can take Zelda with me.
Yep.
They're going to get a lot of double purchases, because they got a lot of double purchases off GameCube to Wii.
I think that was
this one. I think
that's a different. That was a different scenario though, because they produced so little of the GameCube version of Twilight Princess.
But I honestly think you're going to get obviously a bigger transition, because again, you can pick it up and take it with you. Yeah. And like I was talking to someone yesterday, they're like, well, if you're driving somewhere, that thing has unlimited power in a person's car.
Yes. Or even getting a battery pack.
But so I'm going to get a battery pack at some point. Yeah. But like this person I was talking to saying, she's like, how much is this thing? Because she's older, she has a kid. And she goes, this is perfect, because my car has 8,000 ports. All I have to buy is a USB cable, and I'm like, USB type,
Type C, but
Type C,
it's not expensive.
No, you're essentially spending what, $15-$20 at the most to get a longer cable.
Yeah.
So that your kid can now sit in the car instead of having to get the pre-installed DVD players and stuff, where you're stuck having to get a DVD. Like, those things don't just work. Now you can your kid can be playing in the car, or you're on a road trip with people. Like, you can be.
It's interesting. I'll be really.
I wouldn't be playing Mario Kart like they're doing the commercial, because I would puke. But
I wouldn't play video games in a moving car anyways, because.
And I've played my 3DS.
My mom.
But I have to be in the right I have to be in the right part of the car.
And not looking anywhere else.
You have to be really down low and not looking out. You can't see windows.
I don't think I could do that. But either way, I'd like to see how the Switch competes in the iPad market.
Sure.
Because of this, because that every time I go out and I see kids on their iPads. Not that iPad parenting is a whole different argument.
Sure.
But that's a huge market.
Oh yes.
There's tons of iPads out there that are super cheap now. That you can just put movies on, put games on, put a parental lock on. Here, kid.
Sure. And that's again where
what? What? I'm not sure what that is, Greg.
Yeah.
Maybe if you send a link on the chat, we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, for me, I sit there looking at. I look at the Switch, and even again, people online talk and go, "You're going to see that one guy when it first comes out on the bus playing Zelda."
Yes. Yep.
And people are going to be like, "Whoa, what?
That thing?"
And then you're going to see people, 2 people playing on a bus in some weird way, shape, or form with the Joy-Cons. The more games that keep coming out, more people are going to be you're going to see these things in the wild now. It's not like a PlayStation or an Xbox where you don't see them. People talk about them.
Yep.
This one, you're actually going to see people walking down streets playing. You're going to see them on the bus doing their thing. You're going to see them in university,
everywhere. Even workplaces will have it, during lunch breaks or something like that.
Sure.
I can see that.
And it's easy enough. You prop it up, it goes on the table, and 2 of you are playing Mario Kart for 10 minutes. Because again, Mario Kart's not a game that takes 800 hours to play.
Or Snipper Clippers, or
Sure.
Street Fighter, or Street Fighter would be quick to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, matches don't last long.
No.
It's a Street Fighter game.
Oh, look at that.
He did. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
It looks like it's like a, what's that, stealth fighter jet? Ate a PlayStation. Stealth bomber ate a PlayStation controller.
Weird.
That's weird, yeah. Does it work on a PC? I hope it does.
I hope it would.
I bet you it does, but
I still like my Steam controller.
I use a really crappy Logitech controller on my computer.
I use my Steam controller.
So yeah, Switch stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's soon, next week.
And honestly, like I say, I'm not concerned about Bluetooth running out of
No.
No.
Well, and the thing is, like, that was a pretty particularly specific case scenario where it's like farther away, wraps his like hand around the controller, and stuff like that. Like which
I appreciate the stress testing.
Yes.
But yeah, and I mean we've done that too with the Wii U when we were back at university. Like I brought mine in for a games night. And yeah, you're going like as far as you possibly can with the controller. Like, look, does it still? Where am I going? Like, is it working? Yes, good. Go behind a pillar. No.
I'm interested to see some of the super third-party accessories for the Switch.
Yeah.
Things like a Type-C USB cable that isn't part of the dock that will still connect to a TV. Like, could you do that?
Yeah.
That would be cool. Like, what would that be? Like USB Type-C to HDMI? Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be weird.
I don't know. Because that dock there's a lot of stuff going on in that dock, too.
That's my next decision is where to put the dock.
You'll need more than one.
Well, that's my thing. I'm trying to think of where I'll be, like...
You'll be down here for sure.
Playing, but where I'm going to play the most...
Down here and upstairs.
I know.
You'll need at least 2.
But right off the bat, I'm not going to get another dock.
No,
so now it's
silly.
like, where do I want this thing? Right off the bat, it'll probably be down here. But...
Well, I'm sure you'll figure that out.
The problems my Switchues are just logistical. So, yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yes.
Let's move on. We've got
some movie news.
Movie news from here on in.
Yes.
Out.
Yes.
Out, not in.
Could be either.
Well,
from out and in.
Are you an innie or outie on movie
I'm
news?
like a mix. I'm a half breed.
Get out. Get out. So, movie news. We've got Nightwing news.
Sort of.
The movie's been...
greenlit?
Yeah. I don't want to say officially announced because that's a little too... That's not confirmed, but like they're working on it like they were with the Cyborg and the Flash movie. Now,
and I feel like Cyborg is done. I feel like we're not getting a Cyborg movie now.
My impressions was they were going to shoehorn Flash and Cyborg together.
Oh, all right.
That was my impression, that they were going to put those two as a buddy, like not cop movie, but like those two together in one movie would be cool. Like,
it could work.
And that's a dynamic you never see in the shows or anything like that. But Nightwing is coming out. I feel like this is very specific news for very specific nerds. Because if you walk down the street and ask people, "Do you know who Nightwing is?"
Yes.
Yes. Short answer is yes, Greg.
We can talk about that after on the post-credit show, but yes.
Yeah. If you walk down the street and ask any old Joe, "Who's Nightwing?" they're going to be like, "Who?"
But kids are starting to know who he is more now, too.
Yes, because they're really branching off in the comics and the TV shows as well. And he's got a few appearances in the Injustice game, too, right?
Yeah.
I think... Was he in the first Injustice? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
But Robin wasn't.
No Robin.
But Robin is in the new one. I can't keep track of Injustice 2 anymore. So, Nightwing movie.
Yes.
Are you interested in this one at all?
Yeah, Robin was always actually, like... When it came to Batman the Animated Series, I liked Robin more. Like, I always liked Robin. Even when I had my action figures, Robin was usually the one saving the day. When my little, like, when I was playing.
Imaginatorium.
Just,
See?
Nightwing? Nightwing is Robin all grown up.
Yeah, he was Nightwing when he
Dick Grayson.
He didn't want to follow under the footsteps and shadows of Batman.
So he went to his own weird city with lots of crime.
That's not Gotham City.
But it's right next door, and it's one of the boroughs of Gotham City, and he fights crime there. He's essentially Daredevil in the Batman.
But universe. Yeah, like not a whole lot of people know exactly who Nightwing is. Yeah. They might know the name, they might know what the character looks like.
Yeah.
But are the DC movies in that scenario where they can even introduce that character? Like,
then that's why I feel like the plans for Batman. Not that I want to talk about the. Not that I don't want to talk about all the director junk that's going on with Batman.
No, we don't. We're not going to.
But I think a lot of that has to do with there was changes in the story because they want to develop this kind of stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't develop Nightwing without Batman.
Right.
Like, you absolutely cannot do that.
So I think this next Batman movie is going to introduce Nightwing.
Was Dick Grayson the second one? Oh, he was the first one. So who's the one that? And the second one was the one that got killed, right?
I believe so.
Todd, whatever.
Yes.
From
there's too many Robins at this point.
There's 3.
Yeah.
I think there's 3.
No, there's more than that.
I thought there was 3.
In the comics?
Yeah.
Way more than that, because there was a girl Robin at some point.
Okay, I don't follow that far. But, like...
And then they knew 52, and all of a sudden all of them were back in, like, Wayne Manor, and you're just like, I'm so confused.
We don't talk about New 52.
I like Nightwing. I like Dick Grayson.
I'm okay
Jason
with that.
Todd.
Jason. On top of it.
This is why I love having chat open, because... and I love people in the chat now, because we actually get...
Like, live replies.
We actually get people fact-checking.
Sounds like a stripper.
most, let's face it, most comic book heroes do.
And also, Jason Todd was kind of a twat.
I believe he was.
I didn't really like him.
But that's I always liked Dick Grayson. I always liked the character of Robin, especially in the animated series. Obviously in like the 60s Batman, like the Adam West Batman.
A little wildly different.
Slightly different.
You need to watch that new cartoon.
But I've always liked Robin. I've always thought he's, again, that more agile character like that I would play as.
Surprisingly enough, I didn't mind him in Batman Forever. The version that they did in Batman Forever.
Nope.
I didn't mind that one.
No, that was okay. Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
As Dick Grayson.
Yeah, like that. And the backstory was fairly accurate.
Yeah, and my biggest thing with that one was they tried to play him off as a teen, but he was too old at that point.
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell, like it became a weird dynamic where it was like, I will adopt you because you're almost 18 and.
No. You know, he's 8. You know, he's like 16.
Yeah, but I like Robin being, and I thought that's what connected a lot really in the animated series was Robin was a kid.
He was learning.
So I'm sitting there as a kid going like, I could team up with Batman.
It's almost, and that was sort of the whole appeal of Robin,
right?
And that's why they always replaced him every once in a while.
Made him younger again, but then they brought us Nightwing, who was the darker
adult
Robin. He grew up with, and essentially, if you grow up with Batman, you're going to become a violent SOB.
Yeah, and you're not going to go anywhere.
No,
to be honest, either. Like you're going to be literally
because all you're going to see is crime everywhere. So you got to do
Batman. You're gonna. Dick Grayson did what is good for Dick Grayson.
Yeah, moved to another town, became his own superhero or hero, and yeah. So I think a Nightwing movie could be really cool.
Yes, but
I'm not sure if DC has earned a Nightwing movie yet.
Are they in that scenario where they can say, "Hey, there's Dick Grayson. He's also Nightwing." Where was he when Superman was fighting Batman?
So the very first Robin was the best, and with the shark repellent.
Okay, well.
But again, even Burt Ward as Robin was the agile, because he was supposed to be a circus guy. He was a trapeze artist. Yep. He was a flying Grayson. He was supposed to.
That was his shtick.
Yeah. So I've always liked Robin. Yep. So Nightwing's cool. I just don't think they've earned it. Same with Gotham City Sirens.
A lot of their movies, they haven't yet given me a reason to be interested in them.
Yeah. You can't Guardians of the Galaxy yet, guys.
No.
You have not given me that. You can't Doctor Strange yet. You can't.
Although I will say though, Green Lantern Corps, they could pull that off. I think they could pull that off.
Damian Wayans, violent.
That was the dark one.
Yeah, I don't know if they've earned this.
No.
Yet. And I mean, if Wonder Woman comes out and blows everybody out of the water,
which early reports are saying no. Early reports are saying like it's basically got the same issues as.
So then, if Justice League comes out and blows everybody out, like that's the thing. As soon as they make a movie that blows everyone out of the water, they can start doing this weird stuff.
And Marvel was lucky enough to pull that off really, really early.
Sure.
Like I think the biggest jump was to Captain America.
Yes.
I mean,
they gave us Iron Man. And we're like, okay.
Incredible Hulk was not like A wasn't really them. But
True.
B wasn't great either.
Sure. But that was really, and again, that was early.
Very
And it wasn't horrible.
No.
It was mediocre.
It was passable.
Yes. You're going like...
I
walked out of that theater going, I enjoyed that film.
I would watch
and then it went away.
I would watch that again.
Yeah.
But not because of, that sweet library scene where he eats the memory stick or anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
And then all of a sudden, Captain America comes out.
Yeah, that was their big, like, whoa, they can pull something this wildly different.
Red Skull. Like, let's face it, he's a weird villain to have.
And
you have a dude throwing a shield that's bouncing around like,
And the CG and the graphics and all like the green screen was, by today's standards, it's bad. But by that back then
it still holds up pretty good. Like,
Yes.
you watch that, and you watch that as a World War II movie.
Yes, because you know they're not going to film any of that stuff on location.
But you can allow the green screen because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's set back in olden days. Like,
Yeah.
they're making it look cheesy on purpose. They're making it look like a serial on purpose almost. And you're like, yeah.
And you know, it is...
And then Thor came out, and it was like...
Like, Thor is when they really started realizing we've got something here. We're gonna, and I think that was around the same time they announced those big slates of movies. They announced all of them all together.
Yes. Again.
Yes.
Again, Greg, you keep asking
Yes.
very... Yeah.
The answer is yes. I've actually read that comic line. It's super weird.
Well, someone suggested that as the... Because Hugh Jackman, this is other news, but he said that if the MCU somehow absorbed the X-Men, he would come back as Wolverine.
It's not exactly news.
Which isn't news. He's been saying that for...
He's been very transparent about that.
He's been saying that forever. But for us, it's... For me, at least, someone posted online saying if they did that kind of crossover where the X-Men universe somehow... Like, Scarlet Witch maybe did something.
In both universes.
And they melded for a movie and then separated again. But some of the X-Men got left behind in the MCU. Because it's bringing mutants into the MCU is really tough now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're saying Magneto's been around this whole time and just been like...
Not doing anything about Ultron, not doing anything about his kids, not doing...
I shall sit here and chill out. Because in the comics, when Quicksilver dies in the Ultimate Comics, he brings down a meteor to try and destroy the Earth.
Yeah, he's...
Like, he is very passionate about that kind of stuff. And Magneto, yes, should have been... rolling through the punches at this point. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe retcon X-Men into the MCU, like in a really weird way, like mutants.
Honestly, and the way that the Inhuman stuff is panning out, it might not be in their best interest too.
Yeah.
Because it's a bad time to be a mutant in the comics.
Scarlet, all mutants die. You essentially do...
That's not what she said, technically.
And essentially, you
Yes.
could literally do a House of M backwards.
House of Marvel, not House of Magneto.
But so instead of like her saying like every
more.
mutant loses, no more mutants, all of a sudden she could be like, I wish there were more people like me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, pop, 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 and now you have the X-Men.
Yeah. But they can't call them the mutants until Fox
gives them the go-ahead. But that's how you could get, if Fox and Marvel came up with something, that's how you could get them in the MCU without it being like, Magneto's been around since World War II, which, let's face it, at this point is...
So is Wolverine.
Quite a long time ago, exactly.
For that matter.
Wolverine's different. Healing factor keeps him youngish.
Youngish.
Magneto at this point is
Hugh
like...
Jackman is only getting older. That role only exists because he gets older.
But I'm sitting there going like Magneto at this point in time saying he was in World War II without setting your movie in the 80s hurts your comic line. Because now you're sitting there going like, Magneto's how old? Like, I'll get them, and all of them.
I have to show you a video when we're done here.
Like, they have to change the backstory for Magneto at this point if they do movies with him.
Like, would they
anywhere.
even make him his kids? Those two?
You could.
Like,
because he could still be older. Put him in a different war. Put him in something. Put him where he's still prosecuted as something. And maybe just make him prosecuted because he has powers. Like, don't make it about religion. Don't make it about...
I think that once you start introducing Magneto, you're going to have to start introducing a whole new slew of characters, which Marvel can't afford to do. Well, they can. They can afford to do it, but Fox won't let them.
Right. But that's what I mean. If that deal were to get struck, I think that's how you do it, is you just have Scarlet Witch go absolutely, and you've kind of ruined it because she should have gone crazy when Quicksilver died. But she gets into this funk where all of a sudden she's just like, I wish there were more people like me.
Well, the way that way that they're...
And all of a sudden Wolverine's just like... Let's
be honest, though. The way that the MCU is going with her and Vision, it's still on track.
Sure.
It's still on track for them to, get together and do the nasty.
Sure.
And get a kid and then have her kill the kid. So that could still happen.
Michael Fassbender did do a good job of playing Magneto.
People
did a lovely job.
Michael Fassbender was the only good part in X-Men.
I didn't mind, what's his name? Who played Professor X.
Oh, he was in the new horror movie too.
I didn't mind him. I thought he did a pretty bang-up job. I could do without Jennifer Lawrence. Just do a Wolverine versus Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
yes, the money would roll.
That's a separate money. I'm sure Hugh Jackman would come back for Wolverine just for that. Yeah. Even though this is technically his last ever.
But in my case, if Marvel did somehow manage to get the mutants back.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the perfect time to reset Wolverine, not bring Hugh Jackman back.
No,
as much as I love Jackman,
he's getting way too old for that role.
I think you bring in the short, gruff, cannonball of a character.
He is super tall.
Because Jackman is.
He's tall.
And I love Jackman as Wolverine.
I like Hugh Jackman as an actor in general.
Me too. He's an amazing dude.
So,
but I think you bring in the shorter, gruff, bub kind of dude. Not.
He's got the actual
the mutton chops going, and he's ready to rough and tumble. Not Hugh Jackman, who is. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. He is a James McAvoy.
Yeah.
That's the one. He has a body of a stage actor, like a dancer, because he can. But he's built that way. Yes, he's got the muscles and stuff, but he's still very straight and tall. Like when he fights, he is very, his stances are all very...
And all the camera angles have to be a little bit downwards with him, so for him to get that...
So for someone, for me, I'm sitting there thinking, get that guy who hunches over and...
And you know what, they've rebooted a Spider-Man a few times now. They finally got the right one. So why not pull it off with the next Wolverine if they ever get Wolverine?
And that's why I say it'd be perfect for Disney, Marvel to get the mutants back now, because you could pretty much just.
But the thing is,
clean slate.
And the thing is, the mutant stuff hasn't been failing for for Fox. It's just not doing well.
Right.
And that's the issue. Like Tom Hardy. I don't know if I want Tom Hardy. Right now, it's way too early to talk about who would replace Mr. Jackman.
I'd have to think about it really, really hard. But again, I want someone. I want
them to get someone completely new.
Or that.
I wouldn't want someone completely new.
And you can do that in the MCU now.
Right. And the thing is, you don't want to lock in a big name actor like Tom Hardy into this role when he's great. He's a great actor, but he is responsible for other roles as well.
Oh, I like this kid as Spider-Man.
What if they don't like... I think this new kid's... I think
he's brilliant.
Yeah. He's got this role down.
Oh, man. I'm so excited for the Spider-Man movie. And I skipped the last one.
You're not missing out.
Oh, no, I finally watched... I found it on the ground and watched it.
It's on Netflix now.
I know. I tried watching it again, and I still didn't make it through.
Why?
Because I fell asleep watching it.
It's so boring.
And so I went... I love Tom Holland. But I watched the Andrew Garfield, the second one, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I fell asleep the first time. And I'm like, okay, maybe I was tired, and I just wasn't giving it a fair shake.
No, you were tired of that.
And then I watched it again on Netflix because it was on Netflix, and I went, nope.
You were actually just tired of Andrew Garfield trying to be Spider-Man.
I was tired of... you know what? I'm not even going to blame him. The story writing was bad. The casting wasn't great.
Electro was a bad choice.
Electro is a good character if he's done properly, but he's not a bumbling... Scientist of a... I don't know. I feel like Marvel getting Spider-Man back is one... Or partially getting him back. Mm-hmm. Being in control is one of the best things that's happened to Spider-Man, because... He's got cool villains, and Sony just is like, no, and if you think stupid villain.
If you think about it, Spider-Man's villains are really responsible for the majority of the things that happen in the Marvel Universe. Mm-hmm. Like, look at Old Man Logan comic line.
Sure.
That would not have happened if Mysterio wasn't there.
Yep. But that's what I mean. And as dumb as Mysterio is, think about it. Dude with a fishbowl on his head.
Yeah.
As the common joke always is with Spidey. Causes a lot of problems. Norman Osborn causes a lot of problems.
Doc Ock
causes a lot
Superior
of problems.
Spider-Man? In the Superior Spider-Man line?
They have so many villains on Spider-Man, and it's Sony keeps and I liked Spider-Man. You watch it now and go, woof, that didn't age well. I like Spider-Man 2. I didn't mind parts of Spider-Man 3.
You like the dancing parts.
I do. I still...
You like the dancing parts.
I still like that. But I watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 and went, something was just... It felt wrong.
I think they were onto something, but they weren't hitting any of the strides.
No, they missed too many, just key elements of characters. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when they...
Do you think Alfred Molina's too old to come back as Doc Ock right now?
No, because Doc Ock does not have to be a young person.
No.
That's the bonus to Doc Ock. His arms do the work.
We should get Doc Ock back.
Because that was the whole point to... that's why I even sit there in my brain, I cast people as, it's like Stephen Fry who is he's a large, portly English guy.
A little bit.
Him in a Doc Ock suit would work. I think he's got the scientist part down. Like, I think he could play that role. I think because he's a very intelligent man. I think he could play that part well. You add arms to him, done.
I don't know. I'm still reeling in from the Alfred Molina Ock.
And he was a good Doc Ock.
I think he was one of the better parts of that movie.
Yep. Then your superhero movies are only as good as your villains.
And I think that's the big criticism for a lot of the new Marvel movies. It's like all the villains are basically the same. They're very indispensable. They don't really come back. And granted, they didn't in Doctor Strange.
You didn't really get a lot of villain.
No.
Like Dormammu shows up for 5 seconds.
And the thing is, he's still around.
Yep.
They didn't kill him.
They can't yet. He's going to be He's going to be one of the next bigger things.
Yes.
Bring back No, 2017. Bring back Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina needs.
That's tougher to do, though. You don't want to be rehashing on.
Yeah.
Unless they do a Spider-Verse movie. They got to earn that one, though. That would be killer.
That's definitely Phase 4 stuff. That's definitely Phase 4 content, because Infinity War will take up. And maybe that'll be the onset of the reality breaking, and all of a sudden all these Spider-Verses are coming out.
We can just segue right into our last bit of news today, too. It's been a really slow news week, but Patrick Stewart
is confirmed
to be retiring as Professor X.
His last movie as Logan
is
Logan for Professor X. So not only just Hugh Jackman, but
also
and okay, with an asterisk, I'm sure these guys would come back as these roles if it really fit them.
Yep.
If there was a really good reason for them to be in sort of like a stinger or a post-credit scene, they would happily.
Well, but Patrick Stewart came back for that movie that we can't talk about, starring Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Because he came back for the 5 seconds right at the bitter end.
That made no sense. No, that wasn't actually him.
Was that just a digital?
It was a digital. That was a digital.
But that's what I mean.
I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, was he in that? Oh yeah, he was in.
He picked them up.
That was a digital.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think they'll come back for little things.
Yes. Or
if need be.
Yeah, because they're busy guys.
Sure, so. And they have. Let's face it, Patrick Stewart doesn't need to act anymore, and he's proven that by voicing the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie. Like, he no longer actually has to care.
Like, and he's got a solid thing going on with American Dad. Is that show even still on? I think it's still on. I'm sure it is.
I don't know.
But, he's got a solid in there. Hugh Jackman's just
He's
fine. Also set as well. Like, and even Ian McKellen set, too.
Oh, yes. So. And Ian McKellen, honestly, is Magneto. I can take or leave. I like him.
Oh, I really liked him as Magneto. Like, honestly, like, he was really solid.
I like him, but I always think back to I like the Magneto from the X-Men 90s cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's wildly different.
Like in my brain, and I think that's more the Michael Fassbender. Magneto.
Because Ian McKellen had the class.
He had the class of him, but I think Michael Fassbender brings in the
brutality to it.
Yeah, like, not only could he like mess you up with his mutant powers, he could also just like beat you up solid.
And he's not gonna think twice about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the Ian McKellen Magneto is very he's very methodical of what he wants to do.
Yeah. They canceled Poppy for that movie. Popeye. Well, if it helps any, Sony's apparently like selling off all of their movie rights after the Emoji Movie comes out. So Disney will give you a Popeye movie.
I'll be frank, I wasn't excited for a Popeye movie.
I don't know. Robin Williams killed it 100 years ago.
Yeah, but Robin Williams is no longer around for him to do anything for that anymore.
Are we talking about the Aladdin movie? If they do a live action Aladdin,
I think they could get away with getting CG.
I think you just CG
and then use the voice lines. Use the voice lines from Robin Williams, because they've got so much left on the cutting room floor.
I'm assuming they have so much left that you could create an entirely new movie, and it depends on how Beauty and the Beast comes out on that one too.
I think Beauty and the Beast is
because I think Beauty and the Beast is very similar to the cartoon as like where Jungle Book.
It's a little different.
it took different liberties. I think Beauty and the Beast from what I've seen is going to be like
very faithful.
Here is what the cartoon was, but look what we can do now.
Yeah. And it's, by all accounts, it's going to blow things out of the water.
Yeah.
We're gonna be gone soon. here.
But yeah, Stewart, Patrick Stewart.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with him.
And by all accounts, apparently, like both of them are this is the best acting they've done for these characters in a long time.
From all accounts, Logan is just supposed to be like
the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And even the director Manigold or Margold,
whatever. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, these guys. Wow.
They really brought it. And again, this is where I sit there, and this is my problem with Fox owning the mutants.
Every once in a while, they make a killer movie.
Make a killer flick, and everybody's like, yeah! And then they're like, oh, people like our movies! Quick, get another X-Men movie out! And then we end up with Apocalypse.
Yeah. No, we're getting X-Men Supernova next.
But that's what I mean. Deadpool comes out.
Yep.
Like,
Deadpool,
honestly, let's put it this way. We get Deadpool and Logan. Like, within a year of each other, essentially.
Both heavily R-rated films.
Both heavily R-rated films, and that's the next problem, is they're going to be like, oh, people want R-rated X-Men film. No.
No. If the character needs it.
Wolverine and
Deadpool.
R. Deadpool definitely needs R. But you put Wolverine back with the X-Men, he no longer needs to be R-rated.
No.
Like...
Russell Crowe's like Caravan.
It's Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter?
Yeah, that would work. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for a Kraven movie.
I'm trying to think of... Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, he's not doing much right after... Oh, no, he's contractually set. Well, it depends on how his character pans out in Guardians 2. He might be busy, too.
Russell Crowe... No, that's Kurt Russell.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, those two... Whatever.
But yeah, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all of these big names kind of leaving the X-Men franchise is just... It's better for the franchise because it might end up back with Marvel faster just because they have no star power. Like,
yeah, they've got maybe one more X-Men movie in them.
You have Michael Fassbender left.
Yeah, because I think James McAvoy said he'd be back.
He signed up.
Yeah.
But again, James McAvoy is James McAvoy. Like,
he's nothing spectacular.
Like, Patrick Stewart coming back for a movie? Whoa. James McAvoy? All right. You've given me First Class. You've given me Apocalypse.
I feel like he's not quite there yet.
No.
As an actor, like, he needs to still grow his resume a little more. Like,
but
when Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen came in the first X-Men movie, it's like, whoa, these two in the same screen?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Those are two heavy hitters when it comes to acting.
Yeah. And
then you get... And again, they have yet to really make an X-Men movie without Hugh Jackman in it. Like, I'm sitting there with Apocalypse going...
I'm trying to think. I'm sure they've made one without him.
Nope. X1, 2, 3, all Wolverine.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, First Class, he made just a small cameo.
Yeah, that was... Okay,
but he was still in
it. That counts, I guess.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that was him.
That was him.
Yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
He shows up for a fairly large... That was a large scene.
Yeah.
That made zero sense.
No.
And the Wolverine movies.
Okay. And, wow. I'm trying to think of anything he's done.
Even Deadpool, he was...
Okay.
That's
that's a thin stretch.
That's a really thin stretch, but like...
His face was in it at the very least.
And they name-dropped Wolverine.
I don't think they name-dropped him. I think they just called him the Australian guy.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I mean, like...
But we all know.
Hugh Jackman has been in all of them.
Yeah.
Give or take, like... His scene might have been this long, but that is how much they have banked on Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
Okay, we're going to put it this way, Greg.
If you're new to this channel, which it sounds like you are.
Yes. We enjoy the comic book films. We really like Marvel, and we really keep rooting for DC to do better.
There's something in there that they can do.
If you watch through all of our podcasts, it's essentially me going... I really want Superman versus Batman versus Superman to be good because it'll just elevate the...
Suicide Squad could have been something special.
Sure.
And
again, that was part of our discussion, was after Batman versus Superman, we're going, okay, Suicide Squad's got this because it can be original enough and kooky enough.
It's their Guardians.
It can be fun enough to be like, look, DC, you can make a dark movie but still have some fun.
No, it was all...
And then it was all over the place and just a mess, and you're sitting there going... You're this close.
Yeah.
This close, DC.
Yeah, they almost got it.
Yeah.
Almost.
So yeah,
When does Wonder Woman come out anyways?
Yes. That is how much I've been paying attention.
What do you think? I need to look it up right now.
But yeah, no, I'm totally stoked for Guardians.
Yes.
And I will be stoked for Marvel movies until they honestly release one where I walk out of the theater, and I have to walk out of a theater mad. I can't walk out going like, that was okay.
Wow. June. That's
Oof,
still
we're
really...
still a ways away.
How about Captain Underpants? Dude, I think we mentioned that like a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, because they released a poster.
Yeah.
I didn't read Captain Underpants.
Neither did I.
That was after my childhood time, and as a teacher, I still don't. None of my kids read Captain Underpants.
What do they read, or do they read at all? First of all,
they read. So, some of them have gotten in, and I don't know, their parents bought it for them, but Catching Fire, Hunger Games.
Okay, that's a good thing. That's all right. I'll give that one a pass.
Hunger Games. I have kids that do read just plain old comics. So all those comics that are actually built for kids. So like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in school.
Oh.
Forgot what that one's called, but like I have one kid who reads that series. I have. It's a weird mix, but they're into novels by the point that I get them.
Yeah.
Or at least like bigger books, not just Captain Underpants and that kind of. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That kind of jazz. Captain Underpants, just because even like with my kids, I ask them about because I
my
teacher.
My childhood is more Berenstain Bears.
Oh man, CG Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
See, and Scooby Doo. Like Hanna-Barbera, because Hanna-Barbera wants the people who own them want to start like a cinematic universe of Hanna-Barbera. So essentially, wacky racers. Let's face it.
All right.
But I'm like, okay, Scooby Doo, Flintstones, Jetsons, like those guys I grew up with. I like those guys. Mm-hmm. Captain Underpants, no, I don't really know enough about Captain Underpants to be
neither do I.
Captain Underpants.
I can't. It's popular enough that I know people like it.
Obviously, they're making a movie.
Yes.
I still need to see Lego Batman.
Me too. There's a real good post-credit scene, apparently. There's a real good post-credit scene. Nothing like big, but... Okay.
So, yeah.
I think that's it.
That's all we have for...
The news.
The newscast.
Next week's going to be pretty much centered. No, they've actually axed that now.
Well, there's going to be a movie, but it's going to be a made-for-TV movie. It's going to be in theaters for like
the first couple episodes are going to be in theaters. If you want, we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that in the post-credit.
Yeah, we can. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
So we'll be back. We're going to try figuring out YouTube.
Yeah.
So give us about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. If you guys want to check out more of our stuff, go to barrelrollnews.com.
On our YouTube page, Barrel Roll News there. We've got a lot of content up. Not just post-credit shows, or not just newscasts.
Yeah.
We've got Gram Watches. We've got some playcasts. I played some Final Fantasy last night. We play Overwatch once in a while.
I played some weird games last weekend.
Yes, you did. So take a look at there. We've got some stuff. And keep the tab open. As soon as we hit the stream button again.
Yeah, we'll be back for the post-credit show. And you can check out our Facebook and Twitter to stay updated on all of the things that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. We'll be back.
We will return shortly. So go to the bathroom and grab a pop.
Get a soda.
Yeah, and come and join us. Bye.